Hello out there, all you kids and campers in happy origami land. Let's see, we're going to do a short video today. I want to show you something I've been talking about. This is a swordfish. It's a really big, neat animal in the ocean. It's got a long sword in the front that it uses to wound other fish, and then it eats it in its big mouth. This is a pretty neat model. I learned this one by watching another video from another person. When I watched their video, it didn't seem instructive enough, and it was quiet, which I don't understand why it is. If you're making an instructional video, you wouldn't speak and give instructions, but I guess that's how it is for some people. The way that they did theirs was kind of convoluted, and so I decided, you know what, I'm going to clean it up. I'm going to make a better video and maybe change some of the fold patterns that they use to make it easier. And this is what I came up with. This is this very nice peachy fishy right here, which I really, really like. So, without further ado, let's put Mr. Swordfish off to the side here. Alright, we're going to start with the bird base, okay? Rather than go through all the folding necessary to make this right here, just go watch the other video on bases that I made, and that'll save us a bunch of time. Okay, from the bird base right here, we're going to lift up this top panel like that, and we're going to lift these two smaller triangle panels underneath right here up like this. Okay, let's rotate this whole thing 90 degrees. Then about the width of a finger from this line right here, I want you to make a fold in these center panels here. Now the farther up this line is when you fold it, the farther forward the fins are going to be on your fish. So you want to make sure that you place them just right. Alright, fold it over and put a crease right there. Alright, let's rotate it another 90 degrees. Take the second one and do exactly the same thing with that one. Make sure they're even so your fins are even later on. Put a crease in right there. Okay. Alright. Rotate it back. This is going to make a line right here. What we're going to do is make a cat's ear fold. Alright, which is lift this up. On the outside here, you'll notice that this opens up like this. Okay? Let me bring that a little closer to the camera so you can see what that looks like. It's called a cat's ear. The back spine of this right here is going to line up with this line, and you're going to flatten this down like this. Okay? And to make sure that it's accurate, you know, you can even turn it over and hold it and line it up like that. And then make your creases and flatten this down. Just like this. Okay? And that way this is 90 degrees to this. Alright? Let's do the same thing. Rotate this around and do the same thing on the other side. Let's open this outer thing right here. Sometimes the paper just don't want to. Okay. Bring that down. Just make sure it's landing right in the right spot. Yep, just right there. And flatten this down. Okay? So if you measure these two against each other by folding your model in half and putting them next to each other, they should be just equal. Alright, so I'm going to undo that again here real quick. Alright, let's rotate it up. Now the next thing that we want to do is from this tip right here to where this paper comes and meets underneath right here. You see this edge? Let me show you that a little bit closer. Right there, where that crease is, you're going to make a fold across there by lifting this lid up and following it exactly across, just right there like that. You're going to follow the under piece right there. Exactly. Okay? And from the center line down across there, crease that. Okay. Once you got that like that, go from that center line out to this outer edge like a fraction of a fingernail wide and make another little crease here. I'm saying maybe 1/4 of an inch right here. Okay? And it's going to make this whole thing kind of bulge up like this right here. I'm showing how that works right there. You see the bulge? Okay. So holding that down, take this upper panel and lay it flat on top of the bottom one. Meanwhile, put a finger under here and flatten this out. Just like that. Okay? And you get this right here. Alright, let me give you a couple seconds to catch up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, we're going to do the same thing on the other side right there. I'm going to lift it up. Follow this underfold that's under here from this point straight up to where it meets over there. Okay, make a half fold. Then we're going to make that 1/4 of an inch fold right back there. Okay, fold that right there, crease it in. Then we're going to take this top panel, fold it down on top so those edges match, and then finish making this flatten out. Okay, perfect. So now we got both of those just like that. Okay, very good. Alrighty, flip it over on the back side here. This triangle, you want it pointed towards the nose of the fish right there. You're going to take this tip and this edge and you're going to line it up with this bottom edge here, but you're going to move it slightly back this direction, this way. Okay, you don't want it to be right on it, so let me rotate this a little bit and I'll show you where it's going to. Okay, about 1/3 of the width of this right here. Okay, and put a good stiff crease in there, all the way across. Okay, like that. Let that back up again, unfold it. Now where it intersects right there, we're going to do the same thing. And fold it all the way to this point here, and it'll mirror that fold. Okay? Let's put a fold all the way across here like this. Okay? Just like this. That way, we can make another cat's ear fold. Okay, and remember that was pointing forward. So you're going to take these two edges here, fold it in, so everything comes together, and it's going to make a point. And let's rock that point back and forth, and there's a big top fin. Okay? I'll show you how that looks right there once you got that going on. Top fin. Okay, so I'm going to just put that down and flatten it down there just for the time being. Okay? And we're going to close this up by folding it in half and matching everything up. Now somewhere one of my measurements was a little bit off with the fins. You can leave them like that. That way they stand out, or just grab it and kind of move it into position, pull on it a little bit, and press, and it'll line right up with the other one. Okay? Alright, let's straighten this back fold right here. Alright. Now this is where I started changing the model from what the original artist had done. He had the tail with a really convoluted way that he folded it. I thought it looked too small, dorky, and crumply looking, so I didn't really like it. So what I'm going to do is lift this fin up, and where this back line right here, this back edge reaches under there, I'm going to make a diagonal fold right across here like this. Okay? So reach up in there, fold it up as far as you can, up underneath that fin, and pop this over. Okay? And then crease that in. Alright. A good, solid, strong crease. Alright. So now you got that right there. Okay? Undo this fold that you just made. Pick your model up. I want you to invert that fold now inside the model. Just like this. all the way in like that, so everything's hidden inside. And if you look, you'll notice you almost got the tail finished in one shot. So let's spread this open a little bit. I want you to take a scissor, okay, and right where these points are right here, a little bit further inside, I want you to split this. And if you're really good at like tearing paper, you can do that. But here's where the points are, and I want to go a little bit past that for the width of my fin fluke. Okay? And then you can kind of open this up a little bit. Take this other fin, fold it up to the edge of that fluke that you made, and then flatten this back down. And you've got the tail. One shot. How's that? Now, if you really wanted to have a basic model, you could maybe just leave it just like this. You know, but that's kind of dorky looking, so let's make this into a real looking swordfish. Alright, let's turn it this way right here. The angle that this fin is at right here, you want to take this and propagate a line straight across the fish's head. Okay, by folding this in that area right there. Okay? And you're going to have a little space right here you're going to leave because you want it to denote that it's a head. Okay? Just like that, and make a good crush. Alright. Then, through the center line of the whole fish, you want to make another fold for the sword. You want the point of this sword to be right through the center line of this fish. Just like this. It's off by an angle or two, and it'll kind of look funky. So, let's not do that. Okay? And really scratch those folds in really good. Alright? Pull back out. Alright? Open your model back up. And I want you to invert those folds inside here. Okay? One set. Two sets. Like that. Okay? We're starting to get there. So, next item that we need to do. Turn the fish over this way here. Like this. Let's kind of open him a little bit where the sword is. And we want to take this edge and we want to fold it over to the centerpiece right there. Okay? Do you see how that looks inside there? Let me do that real quick. Grab that sword. And this is kind of hard right here because you're working with little tiny pieces right now. So practice, practice, practice. And get that sword in there. Okay? Make a good crease. Then flip it over. And with the same thing with the other side of the sword right there. Fold it all the way up to the center section. And just crease it in there. Alright? That way when you close it, like this, and close the whole fish shut, now you can see that you've got a nice, sharp sword. Alright. And there's your finished swordfish. Now you can do things to enhance this. You know, you can go back through here like I do and glue it all shut and closed, and you can put a cut through here for the mouth. If you're going to cut the mouth, follow the edge of the sword, pull it way back, and then at an angle come back forward. Here I'll demonstrate. Follow the edge of the sword, cut it back just back like that. Okay? And then cut at an angle like that. Okay? And you pull that little bit out of there. Alright. And there you have the mouth of the swordfish right there. And of course you can draw some eyes on it. Swordfish, where the end of the mouth is, the eye is right over top. And they have a pretty good sized eyeball. Just like that. And here's the pupil inside. And you can kind of make him look like an angry fish if you put a line across the top. Alright? And there's your swordfish, guys. I hope you enjoyed that video right there. If you have any questions, leave comments. Give me a big thumbs up and tell your friends about it. Alright guys, have a great day. Happy origami.